Hi, good morning, Andrea.
Oh, good morning, Carmen. Lovely to see your face. Lovely to see you.
You too. So we've got Andrea, who's one of the Soulhub team. She's a psychotherapist, but also the most incredible body worker, as most of the team can vouch, because once they go to Andrea, they can't go to anybody else. So yeah, people return to you time and time again for your incredible handwork, Andrea. So just to acknowledge that on International Women's Week, I think it's really important to talk about your work, but also, your friendship within the Soul Hub team. I think you've been with us pretty much from the start, 6, 7 years now, which is amazing, and the support therefore you've given me. So even in that, I think as we start here, that connection between woman and woman and supporting each other has been really important for both of us, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And Carmen, and it is without us sharing what we do, our gifts, we will struggle as women. It's hard, it's tough. So the gift of Soul Hub and expansion for women to connect is just a great joy. Yeah, it's a great joy. Thank you for this opportunity. And I just put my hand on my heart for all of us this morning as women to just hold our hearts, take a few breaths, and be grateful for that in this moment we are all here together.
And so I think partly what we wanted to do is just do some short snippets, 10 minutes with some of the women in Soul Hub team, and to just really talk about what it is being woman in 2022. And I say that from a light place and I think it's important to talk about 2022 because sometimes when I surmise what's really happened in the world, when we look at, we've come through a period of Brexit, we've come through a period of a global pandemic, and here we are on the questionable verge of, potential World War III. And so really, what is it like as women who, are in our maybe, for me, 47, maybe 48, at that period, thinking about the future, but also doing the work that we do with other young women or older women who, I guess we're getting a sense of what it's really like to live in this period of uncertainty and fear. And it's a build-up of fear as well. It's not just, it's landed. This is years and years. As I think many women, there's an emergence of our, I guess, our place in the world. And so we're kind of battling those two things, I think. And I wanted to get where you are, Andrea, both personally and professionally with the women that you work with.
Yes. And of course, personally and professionally, you can't divide them because they come together. So in my personal life and the professional life, the two are always mirroring and matching each other. So what I mean by that is there's the nervous system, which is working with the physical body, which is working with the nervous system, which is the defense mechanisms, which are the protectors, which are like the kind of the burdens or the beliefs. And then you've got the heart, which is the gratitude, the hope, and the just in this moment, checking in with yourself. In this moment, do I feel safe right now? Yes, I do. And how, wow, thank you. And it's how can we get the nervous system with the heart, the professional and the personal, to find a middle path. It's this, again, it's the agony and the ecstasy. How do we find the middle path? And when I'm working with the body, it's how can I attend to the defenses or the armor or the nervous system, the fight or the flight, the tightness, the shortness of the breath. How can we attend to that gently, respecting it, for it served a purpose and it serves a purpose, and yet also creating the safety for the heart to trust, to feel safe, to feel nurtured, to feel heard, to feel attended to and appreciated. So it's this fine line, isn't it, between the agony and the ecstasy, and it's in the physical body all the time. You feel it in the physical body. So it's like, we don't want to kill the messenger, which is the symptom. We don't want to do that, because that's trying to get rid of something. And of course, then you can't, because the two are connected. You have to integrate the two. So it's the light and the dark. It's this divide that we've got to find a way to, what does the messenger need? What does the symptom need?
And it's quite, as you're talking, I'm obviously thinking almost of being, we're in your space, right? Whether it's on your massage bed or with you as in the psychotherapy room, so to speak, and holding both of those contrasts. And I guess what comes up for me is the safety for you to explore and to support somebody. So they have to feel very safe, even being in your presence.
Yes. And that, I think, is the golden thread that weaves everything together. And it's taken me on my personal journey to find where I can go to a therapist. And after being to so many, finding someone for the very first time where I feel safe to be vulnerable, to be met, so that I can let go of some of my defenses. So it was my physical symptoms that took me on a journey to find somewhere to be safe with another therapist, that I could let go of actually with me, it's the corset. It's like there's this corset holding me up, that I'm really working on now. How can I find the support to let the corset unravel, So does that...
And where do you find the support for you, your therapist, and what else do you feel that you build around you as a woman to hold that?
I think this is a beautiful question, and I think it's sharing each other's gifts. So for me to find someone who also holds a safe space, my wish is to elevate her to be known, to be seen, because she's hiding away as well, and working in this scarcity type of energy. And yet by sharing someone else that's a support. So it's the support, the corset. You've got the support of other women, and you're coming from a place of, it's the giving that you then receive, rather than the kind of that fight, that old scarcity fight that I think we're coming from our nervous systems. Yeah.
And we talk about time and time again, I guess, community and kind of coming back. And it does, I do feel like that, to witness us all coming back to local people, but also to people you trust. Yes. And really looking to the difference when you can offer to somebody else what that feels like. We all know that taps into our heart energy. And I guess I also want to just pick up, because when you said, when they come in and you say, how's your heart right now? And so it's very much here in the now. Yeah. And if you can find that within your time with somebody, that there is a moment where you can go to your heart and go, I am okay. And right now I am safe.
Yes.
It's like, how do keeping it is possible within you. And I guess finding that within ourselves, and not necessarily the outer world, which we can't necessarily rely on right now.
No, and it isn't. It's all, as you know, it's back to energy, and energy is frequency. And it's like, are we vibrating from this frequency, which it's very, it's like a trickster. It will suck us into this kind of very fear, the fear frequency. And it's like, and in this moment right now, asking yourself almost every hour of the day, am I safe in this moment? Yes, I am. So that we can tune into the other frequency, the heart frequency, which is a different energy, and they're all connected, and you can't get rid of one. They're on this, and it's where is the energy stuck? How can we then keep practicing? And it is about a practice. Going back to that, the heart, am I safe? Do I feel trust? What is it I need right now? Can I actually attend to the parts that perhaps we want to shut away, that we've shut away. I almost call them like exiles. You know, we shut bits away down in the basement. And of course that in our body, you know, it's wherever it is. It could be the root chakra, the sacral chakra, it could be anywhere. And it's like, we've got to attend to the exiles, you know, we've got to look at those protectors, because that is the nervous system, and that's the frequency that we're trying to discharge. You know, we're trying to discharge that cortisol.
I love the way you do it with your hands, because you're so used to the body, right? And just moving. Well, I guess you often talk to me about like the fascia and kind of moving the energy from that space, right? And getting it out, because, you know, you do both. You do the mind and the body. So you're kind of aware of what we are carrying unconsciously and how that is exposed, I guess, or how it's transported in our body.
Yes, and you see it in the shapes of the body. You know, you see it in the characteristics, the personality. You know, it's all connected, and it is about. I almost think of that. Was there a game we used to have as children where it was like the doctor? Was it called? I don't know. Where you'd have to. Yes, you have to take out like an architect. You'd have to just take away without disturbing too much, gently, and it's that when you're met with that and honoring the battlegrounds within the body or the mind, then we can almost let go of the judgment and just be with all the parts without any judgment. And the reason I go to this therapist, that finally it's just pure unconditional love, and it's felt through the hands or through being really met without a judgment, and being honored for the paths that we're all walking. You know, that's how I feel we can soothe the nervous systems. That it
sounds so simple, right? But it's kind of, it just brings us right back to, you know, the basics of love and fear.
Yes.
You know, and recognizing for ourselves that we are in, probably for many, right, we're particularly with lots of deaths through COVID, and you know, many people are suffering almost post-trauma, and so that's what we're physically kind of carrying in our bodies. And so we're having to really come back and connect with each other from a place of love, but particularly then for ourselves, and not giving ourselves, most importantly, a hard time.
You know, because the first 10 years of trying to fix the physical symptoms in my body, it was always the old story. Want to get rid of it, don't like it, I don't want it, you know, this is, you know, and then, but that isn't the way. And I think there's a new book that's just come out that's saying there's no bad parts. So actually there is no bad, because that was the messenger for me to go and find a way to being held safely by honoring the parts, the symptoms, and then they will dissolve.
So I mean, you're teaching others really then how to find their own love for themselves and what it feels like to receive love, would you say?
It is that. And it's frightening, you know, you've got to take huge risks and keep going. It's a consistency, it's a practice, it's the curiosity as well. There's got to be the curiosity that keeps the pilot light, you know, it keeps the heart glowing, and the patience, the curiosity, the trusting, the sharing and asking. You know, some women, what is it do we need? Can we ask for what we need? Do we know what we need? Are we allowed to have needs? There's all of there's all of that as well.
So if you were somebody who hasn't done some bodywork or psychotherapy and they're sitting listening to us, what would your first point of direction, I guess, be for them?
Trusting in the moment, in what you're asking for, that there's something bigger than all of us that's taking care of us. And because I nearly 10, 20 years gave up looking for a beautiful, you know, soul that was going to work with great hands. And keep asking, keep having hope, keep asking, keep sharing, knowing there's something bigger that is supporting us. If we're willing to receive, if we're willing to hear, if we're willing to receive, if we're willing to get out of I had to get out of my own way.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. So just get out of our own way, get out of our nervous systems, into the heart, and the answer will appear.
Well, and the signals are there, right? Even just as I said that, I was like, even if you're sitting here listening, thinking, you know, that already there's your sign. Yeah. You know, you're listening to us going, maybe I need to do something for myself, or maybe I can offer something to my sister or my mother, or and you know, so there is all the desires there to move, to ask for support, to ask for what we need, as you said, and to have permission to give that to ourselves. I think that's one of the biggest things.
Carmen, and you know, I would say self-investment, which even when we're really, you know, we believe we're in scarcity, or self-investment, permission to receive. I think that's probably one of the greatest challenges, yeah. And the first thing, when the clients will lie on a bed, the first thing I will always say, can you really welcome yourself here to receive? Because there's, you know, there's still always a little kind of, you know, what's the payback? What's the price? You know, what is it I've got to do to deserve this? That's all nervous system. That's all programming. It's all old beliefs. You've got to get that out of the way. We've got
deserving, right? It's such a strong, you know, thing that comes into play with my clients as well. It's like, I don't deserve it. And you think, well, where does it come from? We know where it comes from, but I mean that as in, you know, it is a story that you've told yourself, and you're human beings. So are you going to say to me that no human being deserves to be loved? You know, we all deserve it. But for some reason we feel like some of us are separate, and that it's us that doesn't deserve. But everyone else does, apart from me.
That's the burdens of the beliefs, and that's where, and then it becomes in the body. It's a trickster, and it's then back to the frequency. So we've got to practice daily this frequency of, you know, yes, I'm safe, I am worthy, I am deserving. This is my, you know, there is so much for everyone. And because we often believe, well, if I have it, then someone else can't. No, there's so much there for all of us. And we don't have to fight for love. There's plenty. If we can feel safe enough to receive, to ask, it's back to safety.
Yeah.
Is it safe? Is it safe for me to feel love? Yeah. Carmen.
Thank you. We said 10 minutes, right? I think we've spoken 20. We can't help but it's such an enriching topic. We could talk about it all day, but hopefully it gives, you know, people an essence of, I guess, of you, Andrea, and the work that you do, and that space that you do hold for women, because as you said, it's finding that safe space, and we all feel it in different ways, and knowing that there is another woman or man that can hold that for you. It's just a bit of a search sometimes. It's fine.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless.
Lovely. All right. Take care, darling. Bye.
Bye.